So today we are kicking off our brand new social science unit that has to do with people who take a stand. And part of what we're going to do during this unit is read lots of books about lots of different people who have taken a stand at some point in history. And our goal is going to be to really pay attention to what these people are taking a stand for, why they're choosing to take a stand, and what challenges do they face while they're taking a stand. So we're going to kick off this unit reading a book called Wangari's Trees of Peace, a true story from Africa, written by one of my favorite authors, Jeanette. So as we read, you'll go ahead, we'll pause a few times, so you'll need to pause the video to either do a turn and talk with a family member or just to pause and think about it yourself. So let's go ahead and dive in. Wangari's Trees of Peace, a true story from Africa by Jeanette. The earth was naked. For me, the mission was to try to cover it with green. Wangari Maathai. Wangari lives under an umbrella of green trees in the shadow of Mount Kenya in Africa. She watches the birds in the forest where she and her mother go to gather firewood for cooking. And she helps harvest the sweet potatoes, sugarcane, and maize from the rich soil. Wangari shines in school, and when she grows tall, like the trees in the forest, she wins a scholarship to study in America. All right, let's go ahead. Let's pause the video for a moment. I want you to think about, what has Wangari's life been like so far? Right, so far in this story, what has her life been like? What does she do? What are her experiences? So go ahead, hit pause, and when you're ready, you can start playing again. Okay. 6 years later, her studies over, Wangari returns to her Kenya home and sees a change. What change have you noticed in this picture and in this picture compared to these pictures? What has happened, she wonders. Where are the trees? Wangari sees women bent from hauling firewood miles and miles from home. She sees barren land where no crops grow. And where are the birds? Looks like something has changed quite a lot in her home in the country of Kenya in Africa. Thousands of trees have been cut down to make room for buildings, but no one planted new trees to take their place. Will all of Kenya become a desert? She wonders as her tears fall. Wangari thinks about the barren land. I can begin to replace some of the lost trees here in my own backyard, one tree at a time. She starts by planting 9 seedlings. So let's think. When we think about our hashtag, Take a Stand, what are you noticing about what Wangari is doing? What did she notice about her country of Kenya when she returned? And what did she do about what she noticed? Go ahead, pause the video, maybe turn and talk, or think about what change did Wangari notice, and what did she decide to do about it? When you're ready, you can unpause the video to keep going. Watching the seedlings take root gives Wangari the idea to plant more, to start a farm for baby trees, a nursery. In an open space, she plants row after row of the tiny trees. Next, Wangari convinces the village women that planting trees is a good thing. She gives each one a seedling. Our lives will be better when we have trees again. You'll see, we are planting the seeds of hope. The women spread out over their village, planting tiny trees in long rows, like a green belt stretching over the land. The government men laugh. Women can't do this, they say. It takes trained foresters to plant trees. The women ignore the laughter and keep planting. Wangari pays them a small amount for each seedling still living after 3 months. Their first earnings ever. So let's pause here for a moment. What are we noticing now that Wangari has asked other women to help her plant trees? What is happening to these women who are planting trees? What's going on? Go ahead, you can pause the video to turn and talk or think about what is going on with these women as they're starting to plant trees. What's happening? When you're ready, you can unpause. Word travels like wind rustling through leaves about the green returning to Wangari's village. Soon, other women in other villages and towns and cities in Kenya are planting long rows of seedlings too. But the cutting continues. Wangari stands tall as an oak to protect the old trees still remaining. We need a park more than we need an office tower. The government men disagree. Wangari blocks their way, so they hit her with clubs. They call her a troublemaker and put her in jail. Oh my goodness. So Wangari has done all this work to plant new trees. But there are people who are saying she can't do that or she shouldn't do that. Go ahead, pause the video. What are some of the things that are happening to Wangari while she's trying to take a stand? You can pause the video to think about it and then unpause when you're ready. And still she stands tall. Right is right, even if you're alone. But Wangari is not alone. Talk of the trees spreads over all of Africa, like ripples in Lake Victoria. More women hear the talk and plant even more seedlings in longer and longer rows. The seedlings take root and grow tall until there are over 30 million trees where there were none. The umbrella of green in Kenya returns. Women walk tall, their backs straight, for now they can gather firewood closer to home. The land is no longer barren. Sweet potatoes, sugarcane, and maize grow again in the rich red earth. The whole world hears of Wangari's trees and of her army of women who planted them. Wow. So first it started in Wangari's backyard, then her village, then all of Kenya, and now the whole world. Let's pause for a minute and think about our hashtag, Take a Stand. How does that work when you start with one person doing something, trying to change something? What usually happens after that one person starts to take a stand? Go ahead, pause the video, think about it, or talk with someone about it. And then when you're ready, you can unpause. And if you were to climb to the very top of Mount Kenya today, you would see the millions of trees growing below you. and the green Wangari brought back to Africa. All right, now we do have an author's note. So let's go ahead and read the author's note so we can get some more facts about Wangari Maathai, who she is, and why this book was written by Jeanette Winter. Author's note. Wangari Maathai was born in 1940 in Hilith, a small village in the verdant, fertile land of Kenya. Brilliant in school, Wangari was awarded a Kennedy Scholarship to attend college in America, where she earned both a bachelor's and master's degree in the biological sciences. Wangari returned to Kenya to attend the University of Nairobi and became the first woman from East Africa to earn a PhD. She taught at the university and today is a member of parliament in Kenya. Wangari started Green Belt Movement Kenya in 1977 on World Environment Day by planting 9 seedlings in her backyard. She was responding to the growing deforestation of her homeland. She saw many changes in daily life, especially among rural women. Some of these changes were lack of firewood, poor soil, erosion, and lack of clean drinking water. The desert was creeping closer, encroaching on the fields where crops and trees once flourished. She enlisted local women to help her plant more indigenous trees. By 2004, 30 million trees had been planted. 6,000 nurseries existed in Kenya. The income of 80,000 people had been increased, and the movement had spread to 30 African countries and beyond. Wangari Maathai was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2004 because of her contribution to world peace through the Green Belt movement. In African tradition, a tree is a symbol of peace. So, it was fitting that when notified of winning the award, one of Wangari's first acts was to plant a Nandi flame tree at the base of Mount Kenya. In her acceptance speech, she said, "We are all called to assist the earth, to heal her wounds, and in the process heal our own. Indeed, to embrace the whole creation in all its diversity, beauty, and wonder." So, we will spend some more time learning about Wangari. This was our first read of Wangari's Trees of Peace. We'll definitely do a second read in the coming weeks, and we'll also read some other texts about Wangari. But as we finish this read aloud, I'd like you to take a minute and really think about our hashtag, Take a Stand. How did Wangari take a stand? What did she take a stand for? Did anything get in the way of her taking a stand? Really think about those questions, maybe talk about them with a family member. And then after you've had a chance to talk and think about it, then go ahead and click the Add Response button to answer some questions and share your thinking about our first read of Wangari's Trees of Peace. Thanks for listening, and I'm looking forward to our next read aloud on Thursday.